Lisa Frankenstein is the newest movie that is in theaters from writer, I should say, Diablo Cody, director Zelda Williams, who is the daughter of Robin Williams. And it is a coming of age uh, dark comedy romance. What does it say? What does it say? What it is? A coming of age love story. Okay. Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno and Jennifer's Body. This movie is very much more Jennifer's Body than it is Juno. I will say that. Very interesting movie in which a teenage girl ends up falling in love, or ends up befriending a corpse. This is a weird one. This is a very, very weird movie. And from watching the trailers, I thought it was going to be weird. I did not think it was going to be this weird. This is a very strange movie, and this is not going to be a movie that a lot of people are going to love. I can understand why it's currently at like 38% on the tomato meter. I gotta say, I'm not quite on that train. But this is definitely a very weird movie. It definitely went places that I was not expecting it to go. It's very, very odd. Very, very campy. And I think most of the actors here, they know what movie they're in, and they are having a blast with it. Particularly Carla, I can never say her name, Carla Gugino. I think I said that right. She is like, woo! She knows what movie she's in, and she's having so much fun with it. This movie is just crazy. I am like speechless for what I just saw here. It's just insane. And you think you know where it's kind of going, and it changes up. It switches things, and it gets crazy. This is not a realistic movie. If you go, that doesn't make any sense. Why does that? Don't stop thinking about that. It's just crazy, dark comedy, fun kind of romantic movie. And it's just crazy. It is so crazy. I found the editing in this movie to be a little strange. There was like, scenes, particularly something that was like really interesting to me was like a character in the one scene is wearing like shorts. In the next, the character's not wearing anything as far as shorts go or anything like that. So there's moments like that where I'm just like, this editing doesn't make sense. Like, just certain things that in one scene is like this, and the next it's just boom. Towards the beginning, there's something that happens where two characters are outside, and then the one character looks a certain way, and then you get back inside, and that other character's inside and does not look the same way they did before. So the editing bugged me a little bit in this, and it honestly felt like there are chunks of this movie kind of missing. And it did also feel like this movie was going to be rated R. There is definitely some violence that felt like it was being edited down to PG-13. There is definitely some situations that feel like they were going to be an R-rated kind of thing and instead went to PG-13. So yeah, I found that to be a little interesting. It felt like chunks of this movie were just missing a little bit. The humor, though. The humor is wonderful. I absolutely loved the humor in this movie. I was laughing multiple times. Again, just shocked at the way that certain things were going. I am not a Samsung user. I am an iPhone user, if anybody was wondering. So yeah, I was just blown away by how crazy this movie is. It is also a little bit messy. I don't think this movie necessarily knows the entire time what it wants to fully be. I think it knows it wants to be a campy, fun movie, kind of a throwback to the 80s. but it also is just going in so many different directions, and there feels like there's three different endings to this. Like something happened, I went, is that the end? And then another thing happens, I'm like, okay, is that the end? And then we get the actual ending, I'm like, okay, so that's the end, I guess. So yeah, it just doesn't quite feel like it knew where to go, essentially, is what I kind of felt from it. Um, it's just crazy. This is definitely meant to feel like a Tim Burton kind of movie. Even as I'm looking at that looks very Sweeney Toddy, and yeah, Sweeney Toddy. I mean, that just like Sweeney Todd. That looks like Mrs. Lovett. And there were literal scenes in this where I'm like, Catherine Newton looks just like Helena Bonham Carter. It was crazy to me. So yeah, it's definitely supposed to feel very Tim Burton-y. There's a lot of references to like classic Hollywood horror. It feels like, I know Robin Williams loved film, loved classic movies. It feels like, I felt like I was sitting with Robin Williams and his daughter watching this movie at certain points and watching classic movies at points, if that makes any sense. It doesn't sound weird. I just felt like I felt like Zelda Williams was putting her all into this and was giving us a peek behind her curtain into her childhood, and just showing us her passion and her love for classic horror, I guess. There's a lot of style to this, and it's very different. It's very bold. It's very unique. I certainly enjoyed it. I don't think a lot of people are, and that's all right. That, people that are going to enjoy this, people are going to enjoy this. If you've seen Juno and you've seen Jennifer's Body and you hated Jennifer's Body, you're not going to like this one. But yeah, I personally found this to be a very unique movie. I don't know if this is going to be one I'm going to watch all the time. I don't even know if it's one I'm going to be watching ever again, but I'm leaning more towards the positive with this one. I'm not even going to say it's like, okay, I think it's good. It's just very different, very unique, very campy, very over the top. Again, if you're trying to make this be a realistic world, just stop. There's so many things in this movie. It's like, what the heck? And so many conveniences that happen throughout the movie, but it's fun, and I had a blast with it. I really did. What am I going to go with this one? I'm going to go 6 out of 10 on this one. It's not a great movie, but it is kind of like that cult classic kind of feel. And I feel like Zelda Williams and Diablo Cody made this movie with that thought in their head of going, this is going to be one of those stupid, dumb kind of classic movies that are cult classics. I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but it is such an interesting movie, so unique. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You might not. If you don't like weird things, this one's not going to be for you. So that's the best warning I have for you, or best, thumbs up for you. So yeah, guys, that is my review of Lisa Frankenstein. Tell me what you thought of it. Yeah, that's about all I got for you. Hope you have a great night. And, by the way, I didn't show Chester. There he is. I have to show Chester in, like, every video. Did you see him? I took him hiking today. He's dead tired. Anyway, guys, I hope you have yourself a great night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and we will see you next time.